Hey everyone, Dancentral here. This is a tag and response video to my good friend Marcus, XFile2708. Basically there's a video going around about my gaming history where you talk about your favourite consoles and your favourite games that you enjoyed playing when you were growing up and stuff. And I thought it was quite an interesting idea. It's great to be able to let people know basically what you've enjoyed playing and how you came to collect retro stuff and what got you interested in it. But I sort of didn't really kind of had the initiative or kind of had too much of a reason to kind of post one just because I'm so busy. But when I got a tag from Marcus, I just thought, oh, let's just do it then, why not? It's more of a reason to do it as well, so let's just go for it. Okay, now I hadn't written anything down just because I sort of just couldn't be bothered really. I just thought I'd just see what I could think of. Now I'm going to try and remember the consoles that I've owned over the years in the order that I got them as best I can. If I forget anything, then I'll probably kick myself after I've finished doing the whole videos. But anyway, I don't know how many parts this is going to be. Hopefully it'll only be like 2 at the most, maybe 3 at a push, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So basically the first sort of games console that I owned was a Philips CDI. I never got a chance to play things like the Amstrad or the Amiga or the Spectrum because it just was before my time really. So I really didn't get a chance to see what they were like. I never got a chance to play them, see what they were like. They looked pretty neat, but I just never got a chance to play it. I always hear people on YouTube talking about it, and Marcus himself, he's got some of the consoles in his games room, which is awesome. And my parents remember playing the Amstrad and the Amiga when they were younger, but I have no recollection of it whatsoever just because it was before my time, so I can't mention them unfortunately. But I have played some of the games that were available on them consoles that were then re-released, so you know, things like Space Invaders, Alleyway, them kind of things, them kind of games. So I have played some of the games, but haven't actually been able to play the actual consoles themselves. Anyway, back to the actual consoles that I've played. My first console then, as I've said, is the Philips CDI. It's interesting that it wasn't the NES. I got that much later. I don't know why. I just didn't have it when it was around and it was in fashion. I just got it later on. That's just kind of how it was really. So yeah, the first console, Philips CDI. The first game I ever played, I'm sure it was Burn Cycle, if I remember rightly, which is a great game to get me into gaming from a young age because it's such an awesome game anyway. And that really stuck out for me because it was so impressive for its time, for a CDI game as well. Just the visuals and the gameplay, it was just absolutely fantastic. I just spent hours and hours playing it. It was brilliant. And then there's other great games on there as well, like Escape from Cyber City, Little Devil, The Seventh Guest. There's loads of others. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Just so many great games, really. I'm not going to say any more because I forget. Yeah, there's a few that I'm not really sort of impressed with, like Hotel Mario, Zelda, Wand of Gamelon, Link the Faces of Evil. They're just really bad. I mean, they're not too bad, you know, if you're playing them for a short while, but then they just get on your nerves after a while. So anyway, so that was the first console. Now, I was having trouble thinking of the order that they were going in. I'm sure the next console I had was the Sega Master System 2, so it was the second model, it wasn't the first one. I'm sure it was that. I'm just going to go with it anyway, because I'll end up mentioning them all anyway. But yeah, I'm going to say Sega Master System 2, I'm sure it was. Yeah, as I said, second model, so I've never had the first model at all. And in my opinion, the second one looks better. It looks more modern, it looks more sleek, it's smaller, and it just looks more contemporary really, whereas the first model looks more sort of, I'm not going to say old, because old consoles, if you say old, it makes it seem like they're really, you know, really rubbish, and you should, you know, never play them again because they're in the past, and the past should be kept, you know, in the past. So I'm not going to say that, but it just, the first model just didn't appeal to me, we'll say. So anyway, I got the second model, and obviously played the Sonic games, absolutely loved them. and played the Master System version of Castle of Illusion. And there was Land of Illusion as well. Just an absolutely amazing console. Alex Kidd, who was just a great mascot for Sega before he then got completely shunted by Sonic, and people didn't really give him much attention anymore. And yeah, I'm just trying to think of games that I just love playing on it. The Lucky Dime Caper, starring Donald Duck, that's a really good game. Enduro Race is a really good racing game. They've got as other racing as like Taito Chase, Special Criminal Investigation, Black Belt's quite a good karate game. Alien Storm's the other one I was trying to think of, and James Pond as well. Absolutely fantastic games. Great memories of playing them when I was growing up. So the Sega Master System was the next one. And then if I remember rightly, I then got a Sega Mega Drive after that. So I sort of grew up on Sega consoles, and then I discovered Nintendo a lot later. A lot of the consoles I was really lucky because my uncle actually bought them for me. I never asked him to. I used to go up my grandparents a lot when I was younger and just play the games consoles up there, because over the years, because my uncle kept buying them for me, I kept getting loads of them. And back then, I had one of the smallest rooms you've ever seen in your life in my old house. It was like a box room, and I couldn't store them in my room at home, so my grandparents kind of let me store them at their house. So I used to always like nag my mum to go over there every weekend so I could play them all, and I'd always like never want to go back home again because I'd have to leave them behind. But I had some great memories on the Sega Mega Drive, and I still do to this day. I play all my consoles constantly whenever I get a chance. I just can't get enough of them. Retro is just awesome. But again, Sonic on the Mega Drive is good example, absolutely fantastic. Love all the Sonic games, I've got all of them. So not just the first three, but also Sonic 3D, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as well. Just great games. And then you've got other ones as well, like of course the Mega Drive version of Castle of Illusion. You've then got the amazing World of Illusion. You've got Biohazard Battle, which I've done a challenge video on already on my channel. That's just an amazing game. The bass sound in that's brilliant, as I've already said in a past video. And yeah, just Mega Bomberman is another great game. I love the Bomberman series. And it's really hard trying to think off the top of your head. Cool Spot is a nice little platformer as well, as is Bubsy 1 and 2 and Pugsy. They're two absolutely brilliant games as well. I could mention loads more, but I'm conscious of time and I don't want to sit here thinking and then sort of miss a game out and then kick myself later on that I'd forgotten to mention it. So I'll just say that selection. So that would have been the next one, and that's one of my favourite consoles of all time. And as everyone knows, Marcus XFile2708 is collecting for a full power Mega Drive collection. So if any of you guys want to trade with him, or you find any duplicates that you want to generously give to him, then do so, because he's a great guy and he's so down to earth, and he's just one of the most awesome gamers on the YouTube gaming community. So that's the Mega Drive, and then I'm trying to remember that there's also handhelds to consider as well as like proper consoles. So I would say a lot of my handhelds were a lot later. So I'm trying to think. I'm sure the next console I got bought for me was the Super Nintendo. Now I absolutely couldn't believe how good it was when I first saw it. I went round my nan's one weekend and my uncle had bought it for me for a surprise, and I just couldn't wait to get on it. He was playing it to show me what it was like, and I was just like, move over, I have to have a go, and it was just brilliant. Like one of my best games that I remember playing, and you guys will, if you've seen my Super Mario World gaming vids, the huge long like 26-part playthrough I did, Super Mario World was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved that game. Then there's Donkey Kong Country, which is one of the best games ever. And let me think what else. Excuse me. There's loads more Super Mario games as well, like Super Mario All-Stars. And then you've got things like Zombies, Ate My Neighbours. It's quite a nice little platformer. We've then got Mickey Mania. You've got Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, really great fighting games. Final Fight, a really good game on there as well. And oh dear, there's so many. There really is. But it's just an absolutely amazing console. And that would have been the next console that I got, and I just absolutely love that console to bits. I've actually got it on in my room at the moment. I'm playing through Donkey Kong Country 3 because that was one of the games in the series I didn't actually play through properly, and it's great that you've got more freedom to move about on the map as well. So I'm playing through that at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving it on my new TV. It's great to see how a retro console kind of looks on a sort of a new recent TV that wasn't actually available when the consoles were in fashion. So it's nice to take some of the kind of retro consoles and put them on like, you know, up to date, really stylish TVs. It's just great, really, really great. So that would have been the next one that I got, Super Nintendo. Absolutely fantastic console.